so I'm back in my car recording a video just because it's a little breezy outside. I didn't really like the sound of the wind in my video, and yeah, I want things to be natural, but I also don't want it to be kind of just taking away from my video. So I'm in my car, natural light, it's nice and warm in here, whatever. So my last video was very ranty, and I got some feedback about it, and a couple people said videos like that, well, for one person, for starters, said it was too long. A second person said that it needs to be more goal oriented, and I agree with that. So the point of my channel, I guess, to make it a little more clear, is going to be posting like informational videos, but once in a while I do want to have those rant videos because I'm still a person, and I feel as though me being able to show the world that that's who I am, this is how I am when I'm angry and hurt, and these are the things that I feel and say, makes it more relatable. So I don't plan on doing many rant videos, just like one every now and then, kind of when big things happen, and something big had happened. So for me, that's more the goal I'm going for, is to have those, set in stone. This is the topic, this is what I want to talk about, here are the facts, here's a couple of examples, and then once in a while kind of just like, hey, my life is falling apart and this is how I'm dealing with it, kind of thing. So I did get some good views on the last one. I'm happy with the 21 that I got. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that means a lot to me. It's a start. So today I want to talk about human relations in the workplace. So my promotion for my job is coming up. I'm going from an associate to a shift supervisor, which is it's a manager, but they don't get paid what a manager gets paid, and they can't do things like fire people and very managerial tasks. I have been working about 7 months to get to this point. Panera Bread might seem like just a job, but they have very many structural components to it. Like, you start as an associate, you are either in service or production, and then you work your way up to like being a trainer, and you train in either service or production. Then you're a zone leader, and you're either a zone leader in service or production. To become a shift supervisor, you have to learn both trades and become well, you don't have to become a trainer, you just have to learn both of them. But it's a lot, and I've been working very hard towards that, and it's taken me so long, mainly because it is a long process, but also for the fact that I have 2 jobs and go to school. So but obviously working in a company, which technically it's a corporate company, but it's a franchise of a corporate company, but it's the same thing. You deal with a lot of people, and moving up into a management position, you're going to be dealing more with human relations, and that's something that I've been struggling with on and off while moving up in the company. You have people at work who you're friends with, that you get along with, that you like. Then you have the people you don't like, who you think are lazy, and you just want to beat their faces in. For me, the starting place where I had to start like really just learning, that's B, and I don't want it in my car, is how to deal with your emotions at work with people. Because you get along with people, but the people you don't get along with, who are lazy, who you just don't agree with, those are the people who ruin your day. And you don't want to be going to work letting someone else control whether your day is good or not, because first of all, it's work. You're there to do a job. You're not really there. In my opinion, work comes before making friends. So it's like, if people are taking away from your work, it's not something that you necessarily want to divulge too much of your time into. So I had to start there, and really learning that a lot of petty stuff happens at work, and this is my job. This is where I work. I have tasks, responsibilities, and duties that need to get done because that's part of the job description. And there are people who are just there to collect money and do the bare minimum. And it's really hard to work with people like that. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that that's all some people can really manage. Some people can only handle having a job just for the money. Some people can't go above and beyond. And I think some of us struggle with the fact that we might not want to admit it, but we do care a lot about our jobs and what goes on at our jobs, and not necessarily about the company, but the overall success of the people that you're working with in that environment. And that's a huge place where I struggle, is I really care about my job, doing things right, having the correct information, because one of my biggest peeves is when people tell me false information, then I spread that information just to find out I was wrong, so then I look like a liar. I hate that. So because I care and I go and I do the right thing and I ask for the right answers and I go above and beyond and try to really just help out, and I break my back for everyone else, that's who I am. So it's hard for me to work with people who are lazy. But I just realized that I have to respect other people, because maybe there's 5 people you don't like at work who are lazy, who only do the bare minimum, and maybe that's just their work ethic because no one taught them better. Maybe they never had, and this is the screwed up part, because I can rationalize this, even though it's not an excuse, it's just a rationalization. They might not have been given or taught the skills of how to have a good, strong, respectful work ethic, and they won't know. They'll never learn how to have that unless someone steps in and show them. And I'm not saying that we all need to be the, what's the word I'm looking for? Altruist? Is that it? Yeah, altruist. We don't have to be the savior of everyone. We don't have to help everyone. But, if you can show someone something, they're going to take it how they may, but they're going to learn by example. Whether it takes a day, a week, 5 months, 2 years, people are never going to learn the things that aren't taught to them, because that's just physically impossible. You don't know what you don't know. We're not born with this tool book of, well, these are the things that you should know. No one's going to teach them to you, but you should know them. No, it doesn't work like that. You learn from examples. So my suggestion is, if you have an issue and you're getting mad at somebody and they're starting to impact your wanting to go to work, you wanting to quit your job, you doing a good job and getting the crap done that you need to get done, you need to reassess how to handle that situation. Maybe confront the person in an appropriate, friendly manner. If they're not listening, go to somebody higher up. Maybe just pick up the slack if you can. I don't know. I mean, these are just the things that I've done, and I have a couple other people who work just as hard as me at my job, and vice versa. I work just as hard as them. So we do manage to pick up a good bit of the slack. So that's, again, where I had to start. And from there, as you start developing relationships with people at work, it's really understanding who they are and that they might have things going on outside of work, because they're, you got to look at the total person, the whole person, and understanding they're more than their work. They have personal lives. They have stuff going on. They have stress, deadlines, all of this fun stuff that life gives us. And just by ragging on them consistently isn't going to make the situation better. Getting mad consistently day in and day out isn't going to make your life any better. It's going to make you more stressed out. So you need to take control of your emotions, your work, your life, and figure it out. Okay, now when you're moving up in a company, so me, I went from associate to trainer. There was about 6 of us who went to training class, meaning that we are training people how to do their job. In a sense, we're not, how do I say this? From associate to manager, everything in between is still below a manager, but they really are a little bit, each step is a little bit above the last step. So associate, trainer might be here. Then zone leader might be here, and shift supervisors here, managers way up here. So becoming a trainer, we've had extreme difficulty with that, because we are all good friends. Not outside of work per se, but in work, we all get along for the most part. We all love hanging out and enjoying work with each other. Like, we have a great staff. However, as soon as a couple of us started moving up, now we have a little bit of control to tell people this is how things are done and this is why. There's really no way around it. It caused so much collision. And I'm sure anybody who's moving up in any type of company has realized that if they start at the bottom with other people and they start rising little by little and getting more and more power and more responsibilities, duties, whatever, they're going to get pushback. A lot of people didn't want to respect me as a person, as a worker, and for the things that I was saying, because they saw us. They're like, hey man, you were just at this level with me. Why are you acting like you're up here? And it's like, well, I'm kind of up here. I really am kind of up here. I just went to a class to get told and taught how to teach other people to do their jobs. So I'm not here to make your life worse. I'm here to tell you that this is how the job needs to get done. This is what's expected of me. I have to do this. I'm getting observed for this. So why are you giving me a hard time? And at that point, it's like, you just want to throw the towel in. But don't. In a situation like that, I highly recommend that you try to just pull a person aside and say, hey man, listen, I don't mean anything against you, and I know we have a good relationship, and I know we started like this together, but I'm starting to move up, and, you know, I'm not doing this to be a jerk. I'm doing this because it's my job. I have to do this. I'm being observed. You know, it would be really nice if we could just find a way to work together. If you have any problems with me, please let me know. I wish that we, like, be nice, be upfront, be, you know, your foot is down. You're very, like, this is what it is and this is why. Assertive. But don't be disrespectful or condescending, because that is never going to go over well with people. I took a psychology course over the winter, industrial organization, and it's like human relations at work and everything like that. And a lot of it talked about respect and being assertive. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't be a tyrant. Don't be like, well, you know, this is the reason and it's just because I said so. Because that doesn't sound good. So being respectful, approaching a person, explaining it, what you want, explaining what you want and why you want it, not just this is what we need because I said so. This is what we need because X, Y, and Z is a lot better than saying because I said so. So if you're running into an issue, definitely be assertive. You know, don't be a jerk. And if you're having issues with people and you're doing your best to implement appropriate strategies, that's when you might want to go up to a higher person and discuss it with them. I highly recommend creating good supports with people who are higher above you, so as you do progress, you will already have established a relationship with them and be able to actually go to them for support. And you know, when you become a manager, I don't know what that's like. I'm not a manager. I'm extremely nervous about you know, keeping my foot down. I want a fun environment. I want a very casual environment, but I also want work to get done, people to do what they're expected to do. You know, I want who I'm managing, the people who I'm managing, to understand that I respect them as people and who they are and the lives that they have. But also at the end of the day, we have a business to run, and I am not going to use this as my first option ever, but if it starts to severely impact the overall functioning of the environment, it's got to stop or you got to go. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm worrying about moving forward. So if anyone has any feedback about that, that would be nice. But also, with progressing forward, one of the best things that you can do, and I know this a little bit from experience, but also being told from people who have gone through this before, is be confident in yourself. Even if you don't think you can do it, even if you don't have all the answers, if you express that to a group of individuals, that's all they're going to think of you and all they're going to remember. But if you go in confident, you're there to support people, you will find out answers for them. They will trust you more, and they will respect you more, and they will start to listen to you more than if you come off as someone who doesn't know anything about what you're doing. So these are things that I've been working on, and I hope that this information, I can pass it on as I'm doing to other people to help them in their environment. And quite frankly, I started as an employee who just didn't want to do anything. I was that annoying coworker who just twiddled their thumbs and didn't want to do crap. And people didn't like me for that. And I don't want to go to work because guess what? We all have to work. It is what it is. Unless you're luckily rich. But if you need money and you have to work, you have to work. It's going to be the rest of your life, the rest of my life, rest of his life, her life, everyone's life. So why not learn these skills now? So that when you do move forward and you go from company to company, or you establish your own company, or you settle in with just one company for years to come, you're able to work with all types of people. Because if you know how to work with people, you can work with anything. If you're in a business and you can work with people, you can figure out the rest. The people are what makes up a majority of the functioning of the job. And if you can't control or build a good relationship with those individuals, then you're not going to have a successful business. And that's just the frank truth. So it's been very interesting for me to progress from not wanting to do anything to now being so involved and so meticulous about my work that I just care so much. And I just really hope that if anyone takes anything from this video, it's if you don't care about your work and you're just going there for the money, it's not fair to other people and it's not fair to yourself, because you're not giving yourself the ability to grow and develop and learn skills that you'll be able to carry forward with you to other jobs. You know, if you never learn these skills, you're just going to struggle and wonder why you're going from job to job to job to job, and that does not look good for a resume. This world demands a perfect, clean resume. You don't get fired that often. You know, you have so many jobs and experience when you're young, so when you're older, you can easily get into the jobs that you want and you have more qualifications. So it's like your credit score. Don't ruin it now just because you're young and you think you can fix it. No. Build yourself a strong foundation. Learn how to deal with people, human relations in the organization. Learn how to deal with people at a place of work, a company, a business, wherever you're working. Because once you can deal with people, you're not only going to be dealing with employees, you're going to be dealing with customers. And that is a humongous group of people to be dealing with. I mean, thousands plus hundreds of thousands of people you'll be dealing with. And you want to be able to have all the tools in your pocket so you can do it as successfully and smoothly as possible. And when problems do arise, you'll be able to figure out how to solve it. And when you're working with employees, you know how to settle disputes. You know how to clear the air, stop tensions so that you can have a more successfully flowing workplace. Because that reflects on you at the end of the day. And for me, it's like going into this position, it's like things are going to start reflecting on me. I'm going to be held more accountable, and I'm trying to give myself all the tools now so I can be as successful in that transition as possible. So this is, just something I wanted to talk about. It was on my mind. I thought it was important, and, everyone has to work, so it does reach a large audience of people. And, it's a little bit random, but I'm glad to get this one out. Got like 1,000 ideas in my head, and this was just one of them that I plucked out. So stay tuned for more, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, give me feedback. I love feedback, always open to it. So thanks, guys.